Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force, and this time we don't have a blinding light here, but that's because it's raining outside and it's kind of dark. So I've been doing a lot of my reporting during the day here because it's usually while you guys over there in North America are asleep. It's kind of the best time for me to get my stuff done, so you might see some varied camera action from time to time depending on how the weather is out in Germany. But what we're here to talk about today is we're talking about some of the changes that is coming to events. And I know that I'm not the first person to discuss this, but the one angle that I do want to talk about it is hoarding, specifically energy hoarding. Now, you guys know that I've been hoarding actually so much energy, campaign energy and ISO energy, to the point where I don't even care if I complete the strike pass. I'll be honest. I that's what I had been doing anyways. I very likely will not be finishing the strike pass. I think I'll probably miss a few of these, like these last kind of 4 or 5 levels, maybe. I mean, honestly, at this point, Armory 19 orb fragments are pretty garbage. Like, it's just not a big deal. I'm sitting on like 900 plus minis. It's not a big deal. Honestly, even 1.25 million gold is pretty much worthless. The 100 training, I don't need that. I mean, it's not the it's not a ton, so it's not a huge deal. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there are some data mines, also some stuff from the blog as well, and I'm kind of wondering, is hoarding gone? Is it going to be dead? Is energy hoarding dead? Because this is one way that I think, in my opinion, free to play, we're able to get fairly far in events, whether it's regular weekly events or leaderboard events. They were able to do better than if they were not. And if that's going away, that is going to kind of squeeze free-to-play players a little bit more, because they're not going to be able to make as much progress, and that might be in the direction that Scopely wants to convince us to spend money, which seems to be where all of this stuff is headed, from overpower, changes in events. Well, we're going to talk about this, so if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, so let's start here at the Age of Annihilus, the blog post, right? There's only really a few things that I kind of want to point out. Obviously, they're talking about how we're going to be utilizing the command center more. They're talking about simplified monthly milestones. So it's my understanding that the meta monthly event is going away. So the kind of the one that we currently have right now with which one is it even here? An X-Man in Space, which I finished with 5 days left. This kind of stuff, I think, is going away, and we're going to be seeing that kind of converted into the command center in different ways. I also think the weekly event items, those would also be going away as well. So these things that we've been collecting for, I don't even know how long it's been, maybe about 2 years now, I think those will be going away, and they're going to be retooling, basically retuning how events look and trying to use the command center. Now, my big problem with the command center is when there's, and I think Dorky Dad actually mentioned this in his video. I did watch it, actually. Is there any difference, really, between the left-hand scrolly bar and the milestone window scrolling left or right? Because I don't think it is, but that's just me. Also, I had to kind of let people know about the King in Black thing, because some people I didn't even know it was there. I knew that it was there from the last week's blog, but honestly, I forgot to check. One of my alliance members kind of pointed this out, and I'm like, oh, I need to make sure I do that to get my 5 red null. So I don't know, maybe it's just I'm not used to this kind of stuff, the change. Maybe I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with the milestones. One thing that I hope, which I think they said they're cutting down on, is the milestone bloat. So these kinds of things, the golden opportunity, save the world, world warrior, that kind of stuff, I believe is all being condensed into one way in the command center. So that's a positive thing, because there was just too many of these things, right? So now there's going to be a monthly Quasar event, which is in the Datamines. We'll take a look at that as well, where you'll be able to earn Quasar shards every day and complete daily, weekly, and monthly objectives. So the Datamines do actually show the command center events, but it doesn't give a breakdown about which one is a daily, weekly, and monthly objective. It just kind of gives all the objectives all at once, and you kind of have to just read between the lines and kind of think about what might be for each of them, to make progress in these events and ultimately unlocking Quasar and upgrading his yellow stars. Now, I don't remember what they said about red stars for Quasar. I've been busy over the last week or so with this move, so I haven't been completely 100% up to date with everything that's going on. Simplified events where they're trying to nerf my Sunday event video, right? That's exactly what they're doing. Whether or not the Boilon Sunday or Monday event videos still happen, I think will depend on what the shape of events look like. They're still maintaining leaderboard events, so there might be some of these maybe every 2 weeks, and maybe just not the same usual Boilon video every week because it might not be necessary anymore. But we'll have to find out more on Friday's blog post. So again, they're talking about these daily repeating rewards, or the weekly ones, and they're going to be condensing all of that into, I guess, objectives, like one milestone in the command center, which is fine. You know, like there's a lot of these bloated events. Intel, so we're going to be getting the store. The first chapter is starting very soon. I mentioned that in the Datamines as well. And they talk about what milestones are going to be still running. So the global milestones, we've seen that. Now, I don't know if all these are being transitioned to the command center, because the global milestones were still in the regular milestones section. Alliance events, this is coming back. I believe it was Datamine, but I believe I mentioned it in yesterday's video. Leaderboard events, so they say that this is still happening. We've been doing leaderboard events, of course, once every 2 weeks. And this is what I'm curious about mainly when it comes to the hoarding that I was talking about, right? Should I be continuing to do this? I mean, I guess tomorrow's blog post will kind of tell me whether or not we're going to be using the. I've just been hoarding for so long, like in general, hoarding energy for events, that I wouldn't be surprised if it goes away, because then it makes it less free-to-play friendly, believe it or not. And then players would be more forced to spend to make progress on those events. So as far as this goes, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, we have the command center, of course, for the Return to the Shadow King, which I have not really been engaging with. You know, so I'm still like 73,000 points to get that with the 200. It's mainly the passive, really. Could I get this if I blew all my energy? How much would that? So it's 4 points per one, right? So I need 73,000. Oh, it's my numlog. 73,000 divided by 4. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm nowhere close. I don't know. I need 18,000 energy to spend in order to get that, which I haven't been really doing anyways. But it looks like that's not happening for me. I would need a lot more anyways, but I haven't really been trying to do that. I passed it because I thought that milestone events were still going to require energy, and they may do, but I just don't know yet. Super deal events, this is so stupid. We data mine this. It sounds like that you're going to be progressing through a milestone, and then all of a sudden it's going to give you like a special deal offer pop-up. I really hope that's not the case, but that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know how you earn a deal though. Like you could buy a deal, like buy a super deal. I don't know how you earn to buy a super deal. So this is going to be starting on May the 5th at 2 p.m. But the Thunderbolts showcase is starting next Monday on the 28th. So that's kind of weird. And I guess it's not quite the Age of Annihilus, but it kind of is. I guess all the command center stuff and the new store, the Intel store, is not starting until the week after. But the Thunderbolts, keep in mind that the Thunderbolts showcase is where they're going to be introducing PvE Overpower. Now, I do want to kind of just pivot really quickly here, and we're going to be talking about some data mines that I wanted to mention as well. All right, so first things first, we do have a Liberty Fountainable, aka that means that they're going to be moving into the orbs. So you can see that Peggy Carter, Falcon, Joaquin, and Patriot are going to be added to the orbs. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that this also means that they're going to be moving into the Battle World store. Because I think that when this happens, it also adds to the Battle World store, but it just doesn't say that, because that's normally what ends up happening. You can also get direct red stars and diamonds if you still need them. I think more than this, though, I think it's actually the Battle World store that is a bit better, because I'm sitting on a crap ton of Battle World credits from running it that I just don't spend because I just don't need to buy anyone. I think because Hercules and Jean Grey, I already had so many shards for them that they're the current ones that are in there right now. Starbrand, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Iron Patriot are going to be removed and moving into removed from the Mega Orb. Like we even cared about that. But coming soon, Enter the Age of Annihilus. So there's going to be a particular special event that's going to be running. I think this is like a showcase event, basically. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was one like this for Age of X. There was like a showcase Age of X Energy that was running this time last year. And it's just going to be, this is probably what it's going to be, a showcase where you participate in some story events and you're going to get some free rewards and you're going to be able to farm this probably for like a week or two or something like that. This one actually maybe allows you to use Xavier because it talks about him and how we're moving into the Age of Annihilus for a new story. And then the Classified is the name of the Thunderbolts showcase that's going to be coming. I'm not going to really talk about this too much because I'm sure you guys know. But what's interesting is that it does talk about the order of the characters, and I think this is where we'll be getting them. So Victoria Hand, I think, will be first, Songbird second, and Hyperion third. Normally, the way in which they're listed in the Datamines in this way is the progression of the character releases. So it sounds like on Monday, which I believe this is when it's starting, is Victoria Hand will be the first character, Songbird second, and Hyperion third. For better or for worse, I actually haven't spent a whole lot looking at the kits because I don't tend to do this that far in advance. I kind of do them one at a time, or when they're all on the roster screen, then I'll kind of take a brief look at them. But obviously it takes about a month before the full team's together anyways. I don't know if there's one that's kind of like really, really good plug and play, but I highly doubt it because characters really are not built plug and play a lot these days. The last great plug and play character, I think, was Kahori, which was a little bit ago, and they've kind of moved away from this sort of thing more so now than ever. There's also this Harbinger. So this is what they were talking about, the monthly Quasar milestone thing in the command center. So the Harbinger earn intel and Quasar shards. Commander, the Age of Annihilus is here. Complete daily, weekly, and monthly objectives in the command center to earn 200 Quasar shards and intel. Use intel in the store to earn valuable rewards. This is the first time where they've actually talked about the intel store or the Chapter 1 season store. Character shards, gear tier 20, L4 training modules, Old Man Logan diamonds. This is quite important because that is them. Remember what they had before, that strike store thing? Where you were supposed to spend strike points to get Old Man Logan diamonds. Well, apparently that's gone now, and then they've kind of converted this instead into the Intel store. But then you're going to be having to decide, do you want to buy Old Man Logan diamonds, or do you want to buy, honestly, you probably should be buying gear tier 20 gear rather than the diamonds, if you ask me. And we don't know what kind of character shards that they're actually going to be offering, but they did say in a previous blog post that they're going to be making this a little bit more compelling. And what I mean by that is that, it's going to be better rewards in here. They also said that it's going to get better by month 2 and month 3. And so that part concerns me a little bit, because is that going to incentivize hoarding the intel for when it is actually better on month 2 and month 3 of the store? That I'm not sure. But as far as the points go for this event, again, I don't know which one's daily, weekly, or monthly, but it does say spend campaign energy, spend gold. Now, that being said, from the previous blog, we did see that they were trying to, I guess, condense the other previous milestones. And I'm wondering if that's what they're doing here. If that they're taking that old campaign energy milestone and they're kind of condensing it for you to get points for the Quasar event here, and same with the spending of the gold. So how much is hoarding, like how much energy do you need to spend? We know for the daily objective you need 600, but is there going to be much higher than that in order to get, say, Quasar shards faster? Is that something that's going to be a thing? So that's something that we'll have to take a look at. You're also going to get points for actually spending the intel. So I guess that's probably going to be a monthly one, right? They're not going to want you to hoard that much. We just talked about the hoarding of it. Well, then they're going to punish you, I suppose, if you don't actually use it within the first month. And then you're going to get additional points for battling in raids with Hitmonkey, Silver Sable, and Daredevil Modern, but this one did not come attached with yellow stars. So as long as you have them unlocked, hopefully this is like a monthly thing, but maybe it's a weekly thing. We'll have to find out. So these are all the inputs for the first month of the Quasar event. Now, they did say, of course, we go back to the blog, right? They did talk about running leaderboard events. And we already talked about the Alliance event that is going to be coming. We talked about that in yesterday's Datamine. So I am more curious to know how all of this fits in with the leaderboard event structure. We have a leaderboard running right now, and of course that we will have another one in about a week and a half, I suppose, once this one's over. A week on Monday should be the next leaderboard event, if they're still running it in the same 2-week structure. And so I guess what I'm wondering is, will energy make a difference for anything going forward? Will there be a reason, a good reason anyways, for us to want to maintain our hoard of campaign energy? Maybe I shouldn't have hoarded. I'm still kind of doing like 1 core a day plus the free refreshes, just because I don't have a big reason to want to spend this stuff. But am I going to be able to liquidate this for events, or are they doing away with this forever? That's something I don't really know yet at this time, and we need more information about events. And I think I'll probably still do this at least for another week until we got a better idea about what the leaderboard and the next leaderboard event is going to look like. So I am a little bit curious. What are you guys up to? Are you? I guess if you're short up on training modules, I would still wait, to see what kind of things come out. Obviously, if there is no meaningful event to spend this on, or if it looks like they're doing away with it, then you might as well spend your energy then. But until I know a little bit more, I'm still going to keep my hoard until we know the full picture. So that's going to be it for now, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.